Test, 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 test.
Yeah, I hear
You
you.
guys hear me?
Let's do a quick audio test. We're not going to start yet, but we just want to make sure that everybody can hear us. So let me know if you guys can hear me and Kuka Plus correctly.
Testing.
Test.
What up, yos?
Test passed. Okay, back to the internet.
All right, thanks.
See you soon. Hey everybody. Oh,
Hey, everyone.
just give me 1 second with some slight technical difficulties here, but it should be fixed in no time. And in the meantime, let's see if you can hear us. Okay. I don't know what's going on. My laptop is super hot. Great. Okay.
I am going to the game tonight. Bet your damn. We're going to use some inappropriate words there, but yes, I am going to the game tonight. Okay, good to know that that's backwards. I need to figure out how to flip it, or maybe if Billy's watching this, he can help me fix the background later.
Okay. Almost there. All right. Let's do this. Hello, everybody. This is Luigi Weaver here. And as usual, I got the one and only Cuckoo Puffs.
What's up, guys?
Everybody ready for Hunter's Lodge number 8? I can't believe this is already 8. So that's awesome. Let's get going. Okay, first of all, I know you all have a ton of questions, and we're hoping that today we will answer a whole bunch of those. But we can't answer all the questions yet. There is so much going on. There's so much new stuff going on with the Cubiverse that it's impossible to digest it all at the same time. So we're going to portion that off in chunks. And today is the first chunk that we're going to talk about. But that also means we're going to do a lot more Hunter's Lodges. In fact, the next one is already going to be next month. So whatever doesn't get answered this one, there's a big chance it will be in the next Hunter's Lodge. But here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the new POI map fill. We're going to be showing what the new loot system looks like. We're going to be talking about print shops. We're going to be talking about the build mode in Cubiverse. We're going to talk about the new mystery box system, and we're going to be talking about the Cubiverse closed beta. All right, let's do it. Let's start with the POI map fill. So the POI map fill is an automated fill of system vaults that we apply to the whole country for everybody. So in Cubiverse, all countries going to have the same style of POI map fill. But our goal is to make it much more dense than the current fill. So the goal is to get towards double the density of what you're seeing right now. So you should see double the amount of vaults when you're in any region than you saw before. And every country will be the same. 80% of them will be white system vaults, 20% will be blue system vaults. And the fill in compared to what we used to do country by country, this time we're going to do a worldwide fill. So almost all countries will have vaults to hit. So even if you go on a holiday, you should be able to hunt some vaults, except of course a couple of blocked countries. We're not going to put anything in North Korea, obviously. We don't want anybody go hunting there. Might be a bad idea.
Definitely be a bad idea.
Okay, so that's the map fill. Next, let's talk about the new loot system. Okay, this is first of all, this is something we already talked about in a previous Medium article, but this is literally super important. So let's just talk about it again and make sure everybody understands. Is the amount of cubicoins you will get from vaults is influenced by a formula, and this is the formula. The formula is a base table plus a power level plus a country modifier plus a boost level. Each of these things will have an effect on the amount of cubicoins that vaults will pay out. Right now, in CoinHunt world, the cubicoins you guys are collecting is the base table only. So in Cubiverse, if you apply all these modifiers, the amount of cubicoins you will get from vaults will be higher. And some of these parameters are in your control, others are in our control. Like the country modifier is something that we set, and the country modifier is something that is that kind of encompasses the opportunity for us to do really good business there, but also what does it cost us to operate in that country. Some countries have additional requirements that make it more costly for us to operate there. So all these things are rolled into one modifier we call the country modifier. The power level, this is completely in your control. So the power level is the power level is combined of two numbers. One is the level of your QB, and the second is the level of your structure. We'll talk more about that later. And then the last parameter you see here, boost level. This is something that we are super excited about, but it's too early to really go into detail about this. But the boost level will be something that businesses can use to get more foot traffic in their stores. But we'll talk more about that later. Okay. Okay, then let's take a look at what it currently is. So let's first take a look at the current loot system in Covenant World, right? So in Covenant World, the loot system, let's say you open up a white vault, no matter the method how you solve it, if you solve it in chill or good or great or perfect, you get the same loot table. It's just adjusted the amount of cubicoins inside. So if you take a look in the Cubiverse, it will be different. In Cubiverse, for each potential outcome on how you solve the vault, will have its own separate unique loot table. So if you solve a white vault and you get a great, you'll have a separated loot table versus if you do it in a chill mode. So let's take a look. What does that actually look like then? So here's an example. Of course, don't assume these numbers are set in stone. We still have to go to a lot of beta testing, and obviously these numbers can change, but this is what we currently have. So first of all, the amount of cubicoins you will get from vaults are not going to be a fixed amount like they are now in Covenant World. They will be a range. For example, if you solve a white vault in great and you have a great answer, your range will be somewhere around between 3 to 13 cubicoins you will get out of that. And you will always get two things out of each vault. You will get cubicoins and resin. And then sometimes you will get a bonus. So the resin will also be with a range. And then the bonus are different things. So one thing to note here is that because each outcome has its own separate loot table, we can do things, for example, if you have a good answer, which is pretty much the worst way to solve a vault, right? So if you have a good answer, you don't get any bonus. And we can do other interesting things like this. If you play in chill mode, we already know that playing in chill mode gives you less cubicoins. But if you play in chill mode, yes, you get less cubicoins, but you get more resources. While if you play in hunter mode, sure, you get more cubicoins, but then you will get less resources. And then one more interesting change here is like everybody knows that there is a very small chance. Whoa, what is going on? Everybody knows that there is a very small chance that you get a blue key out of a white vault. That is still the case in Cubiverse, but that chance is only going to materialize on perfect answers.
And this can affect blueprint drops as well. So you can start to see how like different blueprints could drop if you answer questions as great versus a perfect. Or in some cases, maybe like, the RNG QB won't drop unless you get a perfect on a green.
All right, so let's take a look at what another example. Let's take a look at what a green vault looks like, because greens are a little bit special. So again, when you solve a green, and let's say you have a good answer, you're going to get somewhere between 150 to 700 cubicoins. You're going to get somewhere between 15 and 60 resin, and you don't get any bonus. But let's say you solve a green vault in chill mode, you will get a number of cubicoins, a certain amount of resin, and you will get a certain amount of chromatic paint. Chromatic paint will only drop from green and higher tier vaults, and chromatic paint will be needed to upgrade structures. And then the other side, there is a low chance to get a yellow key out of a green vault. That will only happen on perfect answers. Okay. Also, we're going to update the look a little bit of the loot boxes. So this is our new loot box system. So depending on what answer you get from chill, great, good, and perfect, the loot box will change as well. This is what the new ones are looking like. All right, let's talk a little bit about the print shops. So we have two types of print shops. One is the base print shop, which is the ones that you have in Covenant World right now. So in each location where in Covenant World there is a base print shop, you will see a base print shop in Cubiverse. And those base print shops, they print cubes with a normal speed. And all the base print shops will have one added functionality in Cubiverse. They will be able to stamp construction blueprints. But the base print shops will only be able to stamp construction blueprints that require only one stamp. Doing anything with a base print shop will be a blue key fee. So either print a QB or stamp a blueprint. Those are the two things you can do in a base print shop. Then an advanced print shop, those can only be built on top of a base print shop, but it prints QBs much faster. In addition to that, it can do a secondary thing. It can also stamp construction blueprints that require up to 5 different stamps. And the fee for an advanced print shop is 1 green key. So what does that look like? So if I want to stamp something, what does that look like? So you would go to a print shop. Let's say I want to stamp a flower shop blueprint. So I go to a print shop, and then if I select the stamping option, I will see this guy right here, Wilton is his name. And he's going to ask you, okay, what blueprint do you need to stamp? And it's going to, in the bottom, it's going to show you all the construction blueprints that are inactive that you own. So you just drag the one you want. So let's say I drag the flower shop in there. Then it's going to say, okay, this one requires 5 different stamps. I don't think a flower shop requires 5. So anyway, that's a small mistake. I think it requires 3. So don't panic. No panic. So if it requires 5, it will show you all the stamps you have. So you just drag and drop the 5 stamps in there. And then it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to stamp this? Because, once you stamp it, your stamps are gone. It's going to do like a crazy stamping animation. And then there we go. You will have now you have an activated stamped blueprint, construction blueprint. And then once you have this, then you can take this to a tag where you want to build it on. Okay, so that brings me to the next point, build mode. So once Cubiverse launches, build mode will be instantly available for everybody. And the first thing that's going to happen is we are working right now. What we realized is that we can actually get our hands on large data sets that already have all the GPS locations for a whole bunch of businesses in the world. So we're feeding all these data sets into our system right now. So upon launch, when Cubiverse opens its doors, there will be already millions of pre-seeded tags all over the world. So many restaurants, shops, banks, etc., they will already have the appropriate tags. So you will be able to start, and all these tags will be active on day 1. So you will be able to start building things on these tags. Now the question is, what are you going to be building on these tags? Okay, so let's talk about the UV system. The Covenant World UV system was very simple. We built the user vaults, you guys built the system vaults. That's it. Cubiverse is going to be slightly different. We build system vaults, and it's up to you guys to build all the rest. And what that means is we will have base structures and special structures. In the previous Hunter's Lodge, we talked a lot about these special structures, but there is a way to get to these special structures, and that is with the base structures. And the base structures, they act like the user vaults that you know in Covenant World. So you guys will be building base restaurants on restaurant tags, base shops on shop tags, base transportation POIs on things like bus stops, train stations, mail offices, things like that. You will be able to build base, park and nature POIs, etc., etc. So what are these base structures? Base structures are the new user vaults. They have the same functionality as user vaults. You just insert a key, answer trivia, and receive rewards. But the big difference is the base structure, they can be upgraded by the players. And they need to get stuffed with cubies by the players. So again, we come back to the thing we talked about earlier, the power level. As the power level increases, the reward of the structure goes up as well. So if the player upgrades the base structure and the player levels up the QB that is staffing the base structure, the power level of this structure will go up. If the power level goes up, the amount of QB coins you get out of it goes up as well. And then, of course, other things will happen too. So you're not just leveling up these base structures just to get a higher power level. You're also leveling them up because if you level up these base structures, they will unlock the special structures. And the good thing is everybody can build base structures. They're really not that expensive. They will only cost 10 crystal keys. And there is, of course, right now a limit where every player can, at the beginning, only have a max of 10 base structures. So let's just, I know this sounds a little complicated, but trust me, it's really not that complicated. I'll try my best to walk you guys through it. What is the road for me to get to a pizzeria structure, for example? Okay. So let's say I start playing Cubiverse, and this is what my local area looks like. And this is the corner of my street, let's say, and I have 3 restaurants in this little plaza here. As you can see with the orange tags in Google, those are the restaurant tags. So when you launch Cubiverse, the restaurants will already have a restaurant tag on them. And then, of course, you will see vaults everywhere. That's just a POI fill. So you will see vaults everywhere, and then you will see tags in build mode. So let's say I decide to take this restaurant right here, which is a pizzeria, but it is a restaurant because it has a restaurant tag, and I'm going to start building on this. So the first thing I can do is I will go to the construction shop, the construction blueprint shop, and I will buy a base white tier restaurant. That will cost me the 10 crystal keys, and it can be built on any restaurant tag. So I'll pick this one and I start building it. Once the building is complete and I stuffed it with a QB, that is now a level 1 structure with probably a level 1 QB inside. So, so the power level will be very insignificant, but it will be a slightly better payout than a system vault already. But then, of course, it's up to me to do 2 things. Level up the QB that's inside and level up the structures itself. So let's say I'll start leveling it up, right? Let's say I have a pizza QB in there. I brought it to level 5. Let's say I brought my my base restaurant structure to level 6. So the power level is now higher. So now the rewards are increased. Okay, let's say I keep upgrading it. At level 10, I'm going to unlock something. At level 10, the white base structure is at max level. However, now I unlock the ability to build a blue base restaurant structure on top of it. So now I go back to the construction blueprint shop, and I will have unlocked the blue tier base restaurant. I buy that blueprint, I stamp it, and now on top of my level 10 white, I can now build an 11 blue. So in essence, now what you did is you turned a white UV into a blue UV, because now it's going to take a blue key, but it's going to have the blue reward tables, and it's still going to incorporate your power level. Okay, let's see, I keep upgrading it, sorry. And I upgrade it all the way to level 20. Once I get to level 20, then I unlock the specialty restaurant on top of it. So at level 20, I will be able to go back. Now, this time in my inventory, I have a pizzeria blueprint. And in order to build a pizzeria blueprint, you only need 2 requirements. It needs to be on a level 20 base restaurant, and it needs to be on a pizzeria. So if these 2 requirements are completed, you will be able to replace the base structure with a specialized structure And in this case, it would be a pizzeria. And of course, at that point, the functionality changes too. So as soon as I swap the base for a specialized structure, now instead of just acting like a user vote, it's now going to act like an actual pizzeria, which means it has completely different functionality, which means it will give you a pizzeria quest. It will potentially give you an option to turn Cubic coins into gift cards, etc. All right. Let's talk about the new mystery box system. No more mystery boxes in your HQ every 8 hours. Instead, you're going to get, every time you log in, so once every 24 hours, not every time you log in, that would be crazy. Once every 24 hours, you get 50 white keys just for logging in. So that's the base. And then on top of that is, what we did is we moved the 3 mystery boxes to the walking rewards. So the walking rewards stay the same. So you get 50 white keys every day just for logging in. Then with walking, you get blue keys, the same as you're getting now. But at milestone 1, 3, and 6, you'll get a bonus mystery box. And inside that bonus mystery box is this potential drop rate. So in the bonus mystery box that you get at milestone 1, 3, and 6, you can get somewhere between 75 to 300 white keys. So just a quick example here. If you a casual player and you only do 3 walking quests a day, you can get between 400 to over 1,000 white keys a day. So don't be too worried about not having any keys. All right. Next up, let's talk a little about the Cubiverse closed beta. It will start in phases, and we will start with a very small amount of testers, and slowly we will add more and more testers. The first phase will start in June 1st with a very small amount. If you are selected, you will be notified via email. Especially in the first phases, you will need to sign an NDA, so you can't talk. You can't talk that you're in the beta. You can't say anything. You can't show any screenshots. Later, when we get closer to final release, we will relax those restrictions, and then people will be able to start sharing footage, screenshots, and videos, and etc. about the beta with everybody. But we need to be much closer to the release version. So now, and especially in the beginning too, guys, like the first phases, this is hardcore testing. So we will just give like a sandboxed environment where you can only test one thing, and we just need feedback. So first of all, don't be too sad if you don't get picked for the first phases. The first phases is a lot of work and it's not fun. So only if you're a hardcore tester and you enjoy doing the same thing over and over, apply for the beta.
Well,
and
I mean,
wait for later.
outside of that, we obviously are going to give people rewards for being part of the beta. So it's not like we want to make your life miserable trying to play like an unfinished game. You will get a reward for doing that and helping us find bugs.
Yes, beta testing QB maybe. Okay, let's see. All right, and then the last thing to announce today is when the next Hunter Lodge is going to be. That's going to be June 18, same time, and yeah, we'll have a lot of more things to talk about. We didn't want to drop too much at once on you guys. This is all a lot of changes, so we'll just have a whole bunch of more information to drop in about 5-6 weeks from now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start collecting Q&A questions. So scan this code here and send in your question, and we're going to pick a couple of them and we will answer them right here. So don't need to go to Discord. Everything is going to happen right here. But so you have about 10 minutes of time of sending questions, and then in about 15 minutes we will come back here and start answering them. Oh yeah, so I know you guys have a lot of questions about exports. We can't talk about that yet, but we're getting very close. I think the next Hunter's Lodge will be able to demo something. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Bye, everybody.
Yep. See you guys soon.
Test.
Mic check.
Test.
Mic check. All right, we are back,
Okay.
and we got swamped with questions. So we will do our best to answer as many as we can. If your question is not coming up, then it probably means that we're going to talk about it in Hunter's Lodge 9, so don't worry too much about it.
Okay.
Okay, Lappy, you ready for the first question?
Okay. Reminder, as we have a contest running, and I believe we reached 500 plus viewers.
Oh, sweet.
And our first question is from Makiki Tiki. Can we relocate leveled up structures, and exactly what does it take to level up?
All right, so I can't tell yet about the exact things it will need to be leveled up, but if you look at how you level up HQs, that's how structures are going to be leveled up as well. So each structure will have a quest chain, and with a bunch of steps you need to do, like obviously resin, paint, things like that. And when you go through these all these different steps, that's how you level up the structures. Now, the first question about the relocation of structures, you will not be able to relocate structures. However, what you can do is you can abandon them. Let's say you build a base restaurant, you level it up to level 6, but then you're moving to a different part of the country. You can abandon your structure. What that means is it will free up the slot of base structures that you can have, so you can build a new one in your new city, and your old one will go up for local auction. So all the people that are local to wherever your structure was, they can bid on it. And after a period of bidding, whoever has the highest bid will now be the new owner of that structure, and they will then own the level 6 base restaurant. So they will be able to pick up where you left off and keep building from that point forward. And of course, you will get all the income from the auction, from auctioning of your structure.
Minus the auction house fee.
Yes, obviously. Okay, next question.
Okay. And our next question is from Corlithial. The question is, will print shops be revised to optimize for those with a lot of blueprints? Thinking about how I print some routinely to sell while most others sit in my collection.
Oh, how does the auction house play into this? I don't get it.
Oh, it's not. It's just an example of why he prints so many blueprints.
Okay. Yeah, I can't say much about the auction house yet. That's probably going to be for a later Hunter's Lodge. There's still a lot of iterations going on that at the moment.
Well, so the question is more about print shops, right? So I think the intention is for advanced print shops to print a little faster, which is why you're paying the green key. And it's a good idea that maybe a future upgrade, as you level the thing up, maybe it will allow you to print multiple QBs at once. So we'll kind of add that to the backlog.
Ah, okay, that's what he means. Okay. He wants to have a true QB printing factory.
It's not a terrible idea. Like some blueprints
Okay.
are more valuable than others, and you will need
And
multiple copies.
our next question is from Peter Zhang. The question is, I was wondering if you could adjust the walking quest so that bicyclers can get the same rewards as those who walk. Is it possible?
Yes, I will. We will definitely have a bicycle, a way for bikers to gain keys so they don't have to walk. That is coming. However, and I stated this in the past, we tried to do this by using the same detection mechanics we use for walking, and we couldn't make it cheat proof, meaning you could easily just rack up keys by not biking, but sitting at your home, doing shady stuff. We have a solution for that, but the solution requires the tagging system to be in place. So as soon as the tagging system is in place, one of the things we want to focus on is creating an alternative to walking quests, which would mean you can pick walking or cycling, and you will be able to gain key income from cycling instead of walking. But like I said, there is a prerequisite in order to do that, and the prerequisite is user-created tags.
And our next question is from Marcus Hyper. Hi, Marcus Hyper, you're local to me. What can we buy with QB coins?
So you'll be able to you'll be able to buy blueprints from the store or whatever items we have for sale on the store using QB coins. You'll be able to play in the auction house, and then you'll also be able to convert the QB coins into, into structures to be able to export.
Yeah, so QB coins to gift cards, QB coins to crypto, QB coins to construction blueprints, etc. So, and this is just right now on the planning. As obviously, our goal is to have multiple possible things to do with QB coins in the future.
Okay, our next question is from Minel. So after I upgrade a print shop, it will cost 1 green key to interact with it, even if I print a green QB. Seems that whoever prints at that shop will hate me if that requires a green key each time.
Yes, that's why, if you just want to print a green QB, you don't need to go look for a special print shop, for an advanced print shop. You can just use any print shop. But if you want to use an advanced feature, you will need to find an advanced print shop. So obviously, base print shop will be everywhere, and advanced print shop will be a little harder to find.
Okay, the next question is from Import. Is the beta open to iPhone and Android?
I don't know yet. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the answer to that will be yes, in that we'll still be able to do test flight on the new QBverse builds in the worst case.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have a question from Bacon King. How many people will be selected for the beta?
Yeah, it depends on the phases. So it will start with a very small amount of people, and then we slowly add more people as we want to test more complex things. So it's kind of, I can't really put a number on it.
Do you have an approximate number?
Oh, it will probably, phase 1 will probably 10 people, right? And maybe phase 3 will be 800. That's an approximation.
Yeah, the beta will just get bigger and bigger.
Okay, that's fantastic. We have a question from Coley. Will you be able to forge up white keys?
The plan for that is that to make that one of the functionalities of upgrading your HQ. So if you upgrade your HQ to a certain level, you will be able to mass forge. So you will be able to go from 1,000 white keys straight to a yellow. No, wait, a green.
Okay, and we have one from Corlithial again. Since the auction house is set to switch to QB coins, is there any chance that, maybe not right at the QBverse launch, but is there any chance that you're planning to revise the entire experience to make the auction house more friendly?
Yeah, we're using this whole new game that we're building as a perfect excuse to fix a lot of the small little things that you guys have been bugging us about for 3 years. So there is a lot of small little things, and the auction house UI is definitely one of them. So I think actually moving away from keys and towards QB coins for how the auction house operates allows us to make a little simplified UI, because you don't need to drag keys anymore. So that whole system of, oh no, I need to drag 1,000 keys in there because I didn't upforge them. That will be, now you'll just enter a number, so it will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't expect you to drag like 1 million QB coins to buy something in the auction house.
No.
Thank you for saving our fingers. Our next question is from @u9. I hope I have pronounced your name correctly. Will we be getting larger or smaller denomination crystal key purchase options soon? Example, $100 worth of keys, or a purchase
Yes.
such as, yeah.
Yes, bundles are coming. Most likely they will go live at the same time as QBverse goes live. So it's not going to happen in Coin and World.
Okay, thank you. And from FeedGoat 2000, which countries will be blocked from being filled?
Well,
Oh yeah.
North
So
Korea, Iran, Iraq, things like that.
yeah, so there's some countries that, as a US company, we're banned from interacting with. So I think it's like 5 or 6 countries where we just can't support the game at all. So yeah, North Korea, Cuba, Iran, forget what the other ones are, but we definitely don't support them.
Fair enough. From Atrocities, will it hurt my chance to get into the beta if I am not very active on Discord?
No.
No. Yeah, I think we're gonna look at people's play to like test something that we're specifically changing or tweaking, and I think that will be the criteria for the early parts of the beta.
Thank you. And from the Malfoys, sounds fun. Will advanced print shops still be able to print QB blueprints like normal? Specifically, is the up to 5 stamp structure an added function or a total replacement?
No, it's an added function. So everything the base print shop can do, the advanced print shop can do as well.
Okay. From Curious Hunter, for the POI fill, will vaults be placed in unpopulated areas like forests and fields, or will they only be on businesses and parks, etc.?
Okay, that's a good question because here is how the POI fill works. The POI fill is pretty unintelligent, meaning it's just gonna drop vaults in location that it thinks is okay. So meaning the best it can do is avoid putting a vault in the middle of a highway, right? So but that does mean that the POI fill will just randomly place vaults on like a random street corner, or maybe there is like a beautiful fountain and it's going to place, instead of placing it on the fountain, it's going to place it like 20 meters to the left because it doesn't know there is a fountain there. And that's why we give you the tools to build, because we we need to we need to use automated tools. Obviously, we're not going to manually fill the entire world. That's not possible. But with your help, we can start with the POI fill, which is, like I said, very how do you say, it's not it's very just unintelligent. It's just going to spread an amount of vaults all over the place. But that's enough for anybody who starts playing in that area. At least they will have a lot of vaults they can hit, and because they can hit the vaults, they will start getting the resources and all the things they need to start changing those mediocre fill of vaults, change them to a much better fill, because when you guys are filling it, you need to place it on the actual tags. And so then a fountain will be on a fountain, restaurants will be on restaurants, etc. So more players start playing in your area, the map will start looking better and better.
Yep.
Okay.
So rural players will get a lot of content. Like it won't be the way that it is now. Even in the suburbs where we've previously avoided putting content, like there's just going to be content. So first out of the box experience for everybody will be seeing stuff in their neighborhood.
That's really great news. From Coley, will green user vaults be the same in the Cubiverse?
Yes. Well, plus some additional things, of course, in the Cubiverse, green vaults will start dropping chromatic paint, which is necessary for upgrading structures. And there is a couple of surprises we have in store as well for green user vaults. But yes, so when Cubiverse goes open, all the claimed green vaults will be right there and ready to go.
Awesome. From Qubit, when a player who has 10 base structures upgrades one to become a special structure, will a slot be available again to build an additional base structure, bringing it back up to the maximum of 10 base structures?
That is correct. That's how it works. So don't be afraid of turning your base structure into a special structure, because when you do that, you free up a slot for another base structure. The base is just a base. Like, that's why they don't do anything. They are just like user vaults, nothing special. That's just your bread and butter of hunting. But if you want to turn them, so you can turn them into something special, and that will free up a slot for another base.
And we're also changing the density rules, so you can cluster structures much closer than you could in the past. They just have to have verified tags.
That's awesome. From Beats, will all structures have timed interaction like the sushi structure? Replacing 10 user vaults that can be hit twice a day with 10 buildings that can only be visited weekly and take 45 minutes each is daunting.
Yes, exactly. So that's why when you do turn a base structure into a specialized structure, that you have room for to build another base structure. You in essence free up a slot.
Thank you. From Coley, when will the auction house start using QB coins?
As soon as Cubiverse launches, it will be with Cubicoins.
Thank you. From Mailer Soon, is this still going to be a crypto reward based game, or are we moving towards gift cards and fiat currency and away from Bitcoin and Ethereum?
You can choose. That's the thing. In Cubiverse, you will be able to choose whatever you want to do with your Cubicoins. Do you want to use my Cubicoins at the auction house? Do you want to save up Cubicoins to get that epic blueprint that is going to drop in the shop soon? Do you want to use my Cubicoins and turn them into crypto, or do you want to use my Cubicoins and turn them into gift cards? It's up to you, and it's also going to depend on what platform you're on. So each platform, like for example with Apple, we know we can't have the convert to crypto. That's just not possible. So if you're on Apple, that option will not be available to you. And some countries might say we might have no gift card partners. So in those countries, there will be no gift card. So it will depend on country and it will depend on platform. But whatever we can support in your country and your platform, we will. That's the goal.
Awesome. From Noah52, what will be the use for red and purple keys in the Cubiverse?
Red boosted vaults are coming back, and purple vaults are coming back too. They are both totally redesigned, and purple is probably not going to be ready by the time Cubiverse launches, but red boosted vaults will. So you will be able to do something with the red keys. And of course, everybody knows all events always require a bunch of keys. If you do events in the future and you want a gun for the epic things, epic blueprints, epic cubies, then you will still need to pay a red key for those on the quest chain, like usual.
Can I prompt you to dive a little bit more into your vision for red boosted vaults?
Let's keep that for Hunter's Lodge 9.
Okay. From Lynn, can I retrieve or change QBs placed in structures I built, or are they stuck there forever?
Yes, you can retrieve them, no problem. And so you might need to, right? Because if you put them in, let's say you put them in right away, and then they're level 1. Maybe you should level them up first to level 10, and then put them back in. So you will be able to swap them out, level them up, all of this, no problem.
Yeah. And we also want you to be able to move them around, min-max things. So as you upgrade your QB collection, maybe you get a better QB for your structure, be able to swap it out.
Can I prompt you to describe a little bit about leveling QBs?
Well, except that you're gonna need to equip them. The QB that you equip and you going out on hunts with, that's the QB that's gaining experience points. So you can't level up a QB if it's in your inventory doing nothing. That's all I can say at this point.
Thank you. From Makiki Tiki, will resin and paint drops from green vaults be random, just like white and blue structures, or are they guaranteed like current green vault drops?
All vaults will guarantee QB coins and resin. And most of the time also resources, except when you have a good answer. Good answers are so bad that's the only option where you get no resources.
Thank you. And we've come to the end of our questions, and it's almost 12 o'clock.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect.
All right.
Well done. Thank you, Leppy.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody, that was it. Hunter Lodge 8. I know you probably have a lot more questions now, and that's what I said. That's why the next Hunter Lodge is coming up very soon. Next month, we're going to have a whole bunch of additional information. So this is a little bit of going to be a rocky couple of months because we are in such a transition phase, so much happening. I understand for a lot of people, they are probably freaking out right now, like they probably think this is too much. I don't understand half of what this guy just said. Don't worry about it. in the game, it will come at you at a very slow pace, so you don't need to worry about everything at this point. Some people love that, of course, but if you don't get it now, no worries about it. It will all be clear in the future. We have a plan.
Yep. Plus, we're around in Discord, so you can always come and chat with us if we're around. We do like to talk to our players.
Somebody is saying that they are that we refused their questions. That's not true. We probably got about 100 questions submitted, so we couldn't answer all of them. So we just picked a bunch. And yeah, we're around in Discord too, so just ask some more if you need some more information. All right, everybody, thank you so much. This was Hunter's Lodge 8, and we'll see you for number 9 in next month.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.